It is my great pleasure to introduce somebody who, I'm not sure how many people who know this man right here. For those of you who don't know him, jazz and classical music and world music is what they consider unpopular music because it's not pop music. This man was not only one of the first jazz managers in the world, he also managed Lauryn Hill for the last 9 years, and he went to school courtesy of Wynton Marsalis.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Deborah, Sass. My name is Jerald Miller with New Jazz Entertainment, New Jazz Management. I've assembled today a panel, I call it my dream team. Let's go from left to right. We have Mike Corcoran with Music Submit, who is one of the premier digital marketing agencies for music. We have Gene Cook, who is program director of the Future of Music Coalition, which is one of the leading arts rights organizations and watchdog agencies based out of Washington, D.C. Then we have the illustrious and legendary Gail Boyd from Gail Boyd Artist Management, who manages not only an extremely large roster of Grammy-nominated and award-winning artists, but also NEA Jazz Masters John Hendricks. And then we have, last but not least, my digital guru, Mike Brown from Cyber New York, which owns one of the first labels that developed the iTunes LP kit for jazz and classical music, as well as one of the leading digital agencies in regards to responsive website design.
I remember going into RCA at one point and begging and arguing on behalf of a light box because that was how you got your artists recognized. Now when I go into labels, I was just having a discussion with Concord Records. I happen to represent Molly Ringwald, who some of you might know as an actress, but she's coming out with her first jazz CD in April. And so now what I'm asking them for are digital marketing strategies, and would you pay for independent marketing strategies? And I'm learning, as I'm begging for these things, I'm learning what it is that I have to ask for because there are no record stores anymore, there are no end caps.
The average income for a musician in the United States, their income from music is probably like $35,000 or something like that, but for jazz musicians, it's lower. Even when you do it on a by-hourly rate, because so many musicians are part-time, jazz musicians are earning less by the hour than musicians in other genres. Classical actually make more.
What artists are earning now, they were earning 40 years ago, unfortunately. Jazz musicians, for the most part, I mean, I'm very fortunate that I have artists who are making a living doing this and who can afford a manager, a business manager, an attorney. They do have a team, but I recognize that that's not everybody.
The policy problem that it presents is that it's possible that Congress is picking winners and losers when you're looking at the future of how music is delivered to fans. It's like, well, you know, it's kind of people who are the incumbents, people like terrestrial radio, AM, FM radio, or some people argue Sirius satellite radio. They pay less. And so Congress is effectively kind of giving them a leg up when it comes to delivering music to fans.
So where responsive comes in is it's a method of developing web content that responds to the user's device automatically. So, and it's very accessible now. So I know when we're talking about an artist doing it on their own or possibly management or a small label, there are frameworks out there now that allow you to develop the content once and then roll it out for multiple platform devices. So smartphone, tablet, and then desktop. And it's very gracefully has breakpoints where it will rearrange or focus the content depending on how the user is accessing it.
And the old school way of doing that was hiring a publicist and spending thousands of dollars, mailing out press kits to radio stations or magazines, and hoping against hope, and spending a lot of money just on postage to hopefully get something out of it. And so we're definitely like a disruptive technology in that regard.
My basic thing now is to tell people to not even try to get signed to a label anymore. But if you have someone like Mike, if you have a radio promotions person, if you have a good publicist, if you have good marketing strategists, you are a label. And actually, you probably can do more than you could if you were signed to a major label and you were just a small fish in that big pond.
Well, there's been proliferation of services out there, and it's really wide open range, where you can develop your website, and now I'm starting to see the responsive format is available on these services. What we do is we're really doing custom development so that the artist can take complete control.
Well, you got to promote it. You got to leave a little bit of a budget behind. But again, you don't need, like, it used to be you had to start with $5,000 for a publicist and have them call radio stations. There's a whole new world out there on the internet, with all kinds of different, people looking for your music. And so the reason to answer your question why you would want to use a service like ours, or I don't want to shield my company, but use the internet to promote your music, is to to get it exposed and hopefully just get a little bit of a buzz, get some traction.